So, good morning, good night, fellow food enjoyers. Today we are going to talk about our favorite food, which is known as nata de coco. Nata de coco is a famous beverage which is made from coconut water and also by the help of the bacteria known as Acetobacterium. So let's jump right into it. So this one is the overview of the delicious coconut nata de coco. This one is known as coconut gel, a jelly-like food that is translucent and slimy. This one defines the importance of fermentation in food because without the bacteria, we cannot get the gel-like structure, which is the reason we will going to be see later on. It is most commonly used as dessert drink, and funnily, it can be also found in as pickles, which I don't know anything about that, so I don't care to bother. And then the history goes back to the 80th centuries where a Filipino chemist working for a national coconut corporation. It was naturally based on the alternative to nata de pina, which was the gel-like Filipino dessert that marketed as pineapple gel or gelatin. Nata de coco, unlike nata de pina, was not seasonal, which meant it relied on pineapple harvest from the declining pina fiber industry. Less nata de coco then eventually became one of the best-seller products found out found in the world. It also became a major export product, which resulted in many coconut farms being opened throughout Southeast Asia, including Indonesia. So, what are the fermented process? The bacteria that I mentioned before is a basic ingredient for making nata de coco. The taxonomy of the bacteria are the domain is bacteria, the phylum is Pseudomonadota, the class is Alpha Proteobacteria, the order is Rhodospiralis, the family is Acetobacteriaceae. Acetobacteriaceae is which is Acetobacteria derives from the bacteria that has acetic acid, which means the bacteria needs the acidic pH to thrive. And then the genus is Commogateobacter, the species is K. silinus. The bacteria is a member of acetic acid bacteria. The bacteria need acidic pH to thrive. The bacteria is a group of gram-negative aerobic bacteria, which means it also requires oxygen to live. This Commagatibacter is unique because it can also produce cellulose, which is the important component for making the gel-like structure in the nata de coco. The contribution of this bacteria is huge. The first one is it is involved in the formation of biofilm. The second one, it is used for the study of cell-cell communication and various research and industrial purpose. And then the third one is it also the one of the main ingredient for the SCOBY in the kombucha making process. The last one is what are we going to see? The production of jelly-like nata de coco from this Acetobacter selinum. So we can see here is the culture medium for the Acetobacter selinum. It has growth quite massive. We can see the tails and also the colonies that are lurking around the mediums. So the growth condition of the Acetobacter we need a temperature that is around 25 to 30, the pH level that is acidic but not too low. We need a pH around 5 to 6. We need a starter culture to begin the sufficient amount of bacteria. And also, as I mentioned before, we need a sufficient amount of oxygen as they are obligate aerobic bacterium. We can grow the bacteria in various different mediums in ranging from glucose, fructose glucose to molasses to and then various nitrogen such as yeast extract until corn syrup solids. And then the most important thing before we try to inoculate the bacteria is we need to sterilize the medium used for acetobacter. We need to throw disinfectants and various other cleaning agents to help fend off pesky microorganisms from contaminating the medium. So before we start the fermentation process, we need to prepare the coconut water. We need to extract the coconut water from the mature coconut, and then after that we need to filter it, so to remove any impurities or debris. And then after we filter it, we sterilize it by heating or autoclaving. And then after that, the coconut water is cooled to suitable temperature for microbial growth. The suitable temperature is around 20, I think. And then after that, we add sugar, the fertilizer known as Ca, and also acetic acid. They are used for nitrogen source and acidic environment to support the growth of the Acetobacter selinum. So after that, we inoculate the bacteria. We take the per culture Acetobacter selinum that obtained through stock culture, and then stock, we insert the culture of the Acetobacter selinum into the coconut water. So in order for the bacteria to start multiply and form colonies. And then this is the this is the main point of the fermentation. The bacteria here consume the nutrients that is provided in the coconut water, which by the bacteria then produce the bacterial cellulose as byproduct. The byproduct here is thick gel-like matte structure on the surface of the liquid. The durations are varying from the short fermentation, which takes around 3 to 5 days. It is suitable for the learning purpose. The results are soft, less dense, and more transparent texture. The second one is a medium length fermentation. It is the intermediate nata de coco with moderate thickness and texture. It takes around 1 until 2 weeks. The long fermentation is used for the industrial purpose and also for the research purpose. The results are firmer, denser, and can usually have more appealing and pronounced flavor. Fermentation are a huge success in food making industry because, as we can see here, the microbial cellulose that the bacteria produce helps make the nata de coco texture that we enjoy. The texture is the gel-like mat that we enjoy, the squeezy and also squeezy. And then after fermentation, the nata de coco is carefully harvested to under to undergo further processing. So that's all from my presentation. Thank you.